Hi there. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to create a TextMesh per object and how to basically add an outline around your text like you're seeing here, as well as a drop shadow. So if I zoom in closer, you can see that we have a nice outline around our text as well as a nice drop shadow. So how do we do this? Well, let me start by deleting what's on screen. Actually, first, before I delete, let me reset my material right here so it's back to uh, plain white text like this. So I'm going to delete the TextMesh Pro object. Now we have nothing. So I'm going to go back, say TextMesh Pro. Now we have our hello world. I'm going to go in here and change the text to say outline and drop shadow. Now we can't see all of it, so let me zoom out. So this is what we're going to work with. Okay. Now let me explain how we add an outline, and I'll zoom in to, let's say, this letter. So when we add an outline, we can simply go to our material properties, and I'm interested right now in this setting, which is the outline, and I can simply move this thickness slider to add thickness to my outline. Now the way outline is added is it's added at the edge of the character, and it will basically spread from the outside as well as on the inside. So if I add a lot of thickness, I'm basically sort of chewing into the face of my character. Now, in the case of some fonts that are pretty skinny, that might be an issue. In the case of thicker and wider fonts like Impact, then it's not much of an issue. But assuming you were using a skinny font and you didn't want to lose any of this, then you could easily go here to the face settings and use dilate and basically dilate or inflate the text a little bit to make up for whatever you just used on the inside. So now I can trim it and make it look like this. Okay, so that's pretty close to what we had. It's a little bit thicker. So now, soft shadow. How would we do this? Well, to add a soft shadow, I'm going to use the underlay, which is a layer underneath the main text. I'll expand the panel. I will enable underlay. And basically, if you look here, I'm going to move the X offset like this, and then the Y offset like so. I can control the transparency of the shadow here as well as the color, but it would be weird to have like a red shadow, for example. Let me make it semi-transparent, and then we can add some softness near to it. I could also dilate the shadow to make it much bigger. I could also use this underlay to create an outline. Let me actually show that. So if I remove my outline and I reset actually my underlay, everything back to 0. Underlay is underneath, so if instead of using the offset I was to dilate it quite a bit, you can see that it dilates on the back and it creates actually an outline that's behind it, as you can see here. Now it's semi-transparent, so it looks kind of different. Let me go back here and make it fully opaque. So now you can see that we actually used underlay to create an outline. But in this case, we actually wanted to use it to create a soft shadow. So let me go back to 0 here. Let's go back and add our outline a little bit. Then add our X offset, Y offset. I'm going to add again my transparency and back to softness. And there we have it. So now we've taken it from the plain text to adding a nice outline and a drop shadow. Now, what if I wanted to keep this style? And we'll call it a material preset. Well, that's pretty easy. What I'm going to do is go to my TextMesh Pro object here. And right now, if I was to navigate through my resource folder and fonts, you can see we're using the Arial SDF right here, which is this font asset right there. But in this case, I want to retain this style. So what I'm going to do is right click on the material here to bring up the context menu, choose duplicate material. As soon as I do that, a new material has been automatically assigned, and it named it Arial SDF1, which is right here, and I'll rename it just to say SDF outline. And now, for example, I can swap back and forth. Like I could pick this Arial SDF that has some beveling on it, like here, or go back to the one we just created with an outline, which I need to find. Well, it's actually selected right there, and this is the one we just made. So it's that simple to create material presets, and you can go back and forth between them. Now for my Arial font, this is basically what's in the TextMesh package, so I don't have a lot of examples there, but let me switch the font to something like this Technique font, which is kind of funky looking. But if I was to go back, in TextMesh Pro I included more presets. Let me slide this around a little bit. So let's see, like a fancier looking one here. So you can see this is, pretty sophisticated treatment with like a green outline right there. You can see the little glow and specularity. You can see sort of a brush metal. Basically, this one is using the full distance field shader with all the bells and whistles in it, and bevel, and actually let me add for fun, it actually has some bump mapping, and if I was to zoom in here, you can see that I can add some bump map to the edge, or if I wanted I could add it to the face, as you can see here. But anyway, I digress now. So this is it for this video. It was just about showing you how to add an outline and a soft shadow to a plain font, and how to actually create a material preset. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post. Thanks for watching.